While Governor Gavin Newsom was busy planning his 2028 presidential run, 45,407 Californians filed for unemployment in 1 week. But that number? That's not what he's panicking about. Trump just launched a federal fraud investigation. $10 billion in funding frozen. And what they're finding right now as I speak to you, it's going to end his political career. This is the story mainstream media is refusing to touch. Every news outlet knows about this, but they won't say a word. Why? Because the truth is too big, too ugly, too corrupt. You need to see every second of this video, because by the end, you're going to understand why California is about to implode and why your state might be next.
45,407 new unemployment claims. That's 4,700 more than the week before. The biggest spike California's seen in 8 months. But here's what doesn't make sense. The economy is supposedly recovering. Tech stocks are up. Inflation is cooling. So why are more people losing their jobs now than they were 6 months ago? And here's where it gets interesting. California owes the federal government $20 billion in unemployment debt. 20 states borrowed money during COVID. You know how many paid it back? 19. California is the only state that hasn't repaid a single dollar. So I started digging, and what I found, it connects to 5 separate crises that are all happening right now at the same time, and they're all feeding off each other. But first, you need to know about the woman who started it all, because without her, none of this would be possible.
Her name is Julie Su, Gavin Newsom's former labor secretary. In between 2020 and 2021, she presided over the biggest unemployment fraud in American history. $33 billion stolen right under her nose. But here's the part that's going to make you sick. Some of the people who got unemployment checks? 133 death row inmates, $420,000. Your tax money going to convicted murderers, and it gets more insane. Meanwhile, actual Californians, mothers who couldn't feed their children, they called the Employment Development Department 270 times. 270 times, and got nothing. People were on the brink of suicide, evicted from their homes, bank accounts frozen, and death row inmates were cashing checks. So what happened to Julie Su after this catastrophic failure? She got promoted. Joe Biden made her Deputy Secretary of Labor. Now she's in New York City making even more money as the Deputy Mayor for Economic Justice. You cannot make this up. But here's what's worse. She was warned. For 10 years, California's independent auditor told her the unemployment system was vulnerable to fraud. 10 years. She did nothing. And when the fraud finally exploded, when the money started pouring out, she didn't just ignore it. She removed the fraud protections on purpose. Why? Her excuse was that checking if people were actually eligible for unemployment would, and I quote, exacerbate social inequality. So she just opened the vault and let everyone take whatever they wanted.
Now, this is where Governor Gavin Newsom enters the story. After COVID, California borrowed $20 billion from the federal government for unemployment benefits. And like I said, 20 states did this, but 19 of them paid it back. California, the only one that didn't. Now, you might be thinking, well, maybe California couldn't afford it. Wrong. In 2021, Newsom received billions of federal stimulus money, enough to pay off the entire $20 billion debt. But instead of paying what he owed, he sent $12 billion in stimulus checks directly to California voters, right before his re-election. He literally bought votes with money that was supposed to pay off the state's debt. But wait, it gets better.
California has a $100 billion budget surplus, the biggest in state history, enough money to pay the dead 5 times over. What did Newsom do? Spent it on a high-speed rail project that'll never be finished, free health care for undocumented immigrants, new programs, new spending, everything except paying back the $20 billion he owes. Fast forward to now, 2025. That $20 billion, it's growing, with interest. By the end of this year, it'll be $23.7 billion. And who pays for it? Businesses. California businesses now pay $130 per employee in unemployment taxes. That's triple what they used to pay. And by 2027, it jumps to $63 per employee. With federal penalties, it could hit $400 per employee. You see what's happening here? Higher taxes mean companies can't afford to keep employees, so they lay people off. More unemployment means the fund loses even more money, so taxes go up again, which causes more layoffs, which causes more unemployment. It's a death spiral, and Newsom created it. And right now, while this is happening, while California is drowning, guess what Gavin Newsom is doing? Running for president. He thinks he's going to run in 28, while the state he's supposed to be governing is literally collapsing.
But the unemployment debt? That's just one problem. That 45,407 number I showed you at the beginning, it's not random. It's the result of 5 separate crises hitting California at the exact same time. Let me show you what I mean. Crisis number 1, the AI replacement wave. 627 tech workers are losing their jobs every single day in California. 627 per day. In 2025 alone, over 130,000 tech workers have been laid off. Amazon's CEO literally admitted that AI rollout will reduce their workforce. Microsoft confirmed that GitHub's AI is now writing 30% of all new code, which means they don't need as many programmers. The Bay Area has lost 11,000 tech jobs. San Francisco, San Mateo, Silicon Valley, all bleeding jobs. 8,700 tech positions eliminated in just January and February. Crisis number 2, Hollywood is collapsing. 17,000 entertainment jobs cut in 2025. That's up 18% from last year. Over the past 5 years, Los Angeles has lost 41,000 entertainment jobs. Paramount laid off 2,000 workers. Disney cut hundreds across film and TV. Warner Bros. Discovery is under review for sale. NBC, CBS, everyone's cutting. And this isn't just about celebrities. This is costume designers, set builders, camera operators, editors, regular people whose entire careers are vanishing. Crisis number 3, the wildfires. January 7th, Los Angeles burns. 11,000 workers filed for unemployment assistance because of the fires. Claims surged 12 to 17% immediately. And here's the thing, that 45,407 number from January 3rd, that was before the fires. The wildfire unemployment claims haven't even hit the official numbers yet. When they do, we're looking at another massive spike. Crisis number 4, California's budget collapse. California is running a $12 billion deficit in 2025, projected to hit $18 to $22 billion in 2026. Newsom is now cutting health care programs for immigrants. 15 million people are on Medi-Cal, and their coverage is at risk. Crisis number 5, the Great California Exodus. 200,000 people left California between 2024 and 2025. In-N-Out Burger moved their headquarters to Tennessee. Tesla, SpaceX, Oracle, all gone. The Tax Foundation ranks California 49th in the country for business climate. 49th out of 50. Businesses are fleeing, workers are fleeing, tax revenue is collapsing. You see it now? AI is replacing workers. Hollywood is dying. Wildfires are displacing thousands. The budget is imploding, and businesses are running for the exits. 5 crises, all happening at once, all feeding off each other. And sitting right in the middle of it all, Gavin Newsom, running for president.
So with all of this happening, why is Newsom panicking now? Why January 2025? Because someone just called his bluff, Donald Trump. On January 20th, Trump took office, and within days, he did something no president has ever done before. He froze $10 billion in federal funding to California. $10 billion. And he didn't just freeze the money. He launched a federal fraud investigation into California's unemployment system, into the $33 billion that vanished under Julie Sue's watch. Medicaid systems shut down. 15 million Californians lost access to their health care overnight. Federal aid for the LA wildfires still not approved. $200 million in UCLA research grants frozen. High-speed rail funding terminated. Trump literally tweeted, "California, under Governor Gavin Newsom, is more corrupt than Minnesota. The fraud investigation of California has begun." And Newsom, he's losing his mind. He's filing lawsuits. He's calling Trump a dictator. He's threatening universities if they comply with federal investigations. He's cutting health care for immigrants to try and save money. But here's what he's really scared of. The investigation is going to expose everything. Every dollar that Julie Sue lets slip through her fingers. Every decision Newsom made to spend money on pet projects instead of paying the debt. Every lie he told California voters. And if the fraud investigation finds criminal negligence, if they find that he knowingly allowed this to happen, his presidential run is over. His political career is done. That's why he's panicking. It's not about the 45,000 unemployed Californians. He doesn't care about them. He never did. He's panicking because the walls are closing in, and he knows it.
Let me connect all the dots for you, because when you see the full picture, it's going to make you sick. COVID hits. California borrows $20 billion. Julie Sue, Newsom's labor secretary, removes fraud protections from the unemployment system, claims she's doing it for social justice. $33 billion disappears. Death row inmates get paid. Legitimate Californians starve. Julie Sue does nothing for months while the vault is looted. Newsom gets federal stimulus money, enough to pay the entire debt. Instead, he sends $12 billion in checks to voters right before his re-election. $100 billion surplus could pay the debt 5 times over. Newsom spends it on everything except the debt. The debt grows to $20 billion. Businesses are now paying triple the unemployment taxes they used to. Higher taxes force companies to cut costs. AI becomes cheaper than human workers. 130,000 tech workers laid off. Hollywood collapses. 17,000 more jobs gone. January 2025. Wildfires hit. 11,000 more unemployment claims. January 2025, Trump takes office, freezes $10 billion in funding, launches fraud investigation. Right now, 45,407 Californians file for unemployment in 1 week. Every single step leads to the next one. And here's the number they don't want you to know. California's state auditor confirmed, under Gavin Newsom's leadership, California has lost $88 billion to waste, fraud, and theft. $88 billion! And Julie Sue? She used her position as Biden's acting labor secretary to forgive her own $32.6 billion mistake. She literally signed off on forgiving California's federal debt. She's now making more money in New York City. Newsom's still governor, planning his presidential campaign. And those 45,407 Californians who just lost their jobs?
They're paying for all of it. The unemployment taxes, the fraud, the corruption, the incompetence. Every single cent comes out of their pockets.